everyone, it's Rachel, and in this video I'm going to be showing you what we received in the Sophie and Toffee cat themed Pixie Box, as well as showing you how to make a cat shaker and paw keychain using the supplies included. So the Sophie and Toffee Pixie Boxes are monthly subscription boxes where you receive 20 different craft items based around a certain theme, and then it's your job to kind of get creative and see what you can make out of those items. If you would like to learn more, I'll have some information down in the description box below. So in the perfect cat themed box, we received a kitty tray silicone mold, gold cat embellishments, a paw clock silicone mold and clock hands, green shaker oil, iridescent paw glitter, pigment powder, Cuddle Cat's open bezel charms, a cat paw crystal silicone mold, keychains, paw beads, eye screws and jump rings, transparent shaker film, iridescent paw film, Happy Kitty open bezel charms, a kitty silicone mold, a mini cat face silicone mold, sponge sticks for pigments, and then finally some bright and colourful gems. So to begin making my keychain, I took the kitty silicone shaker mold and I actually decided that I didn't want the butterfly part to be included in my design and just the cat part. So I ended up taking some clear sticky tape and I've just placed this inside of the mold so that it will stop the resin pouring into the butterfly part. I then took my UV resin, 3 different pigments, as well as some glitters that I would like to be using in this design. I separated my resin into 3 little silicone cups, and then I'm just using a popsicle stick to slowly mix in a little bit of the pigment at a time so that I can get the color that I want. And I'm going for a blue and purple kind of theme so that it matches the keychain straps. I'm also pouring in the different iridescent glitters that I've chosen to use, and I'm mixing it in really well. It's now time to pour the resin into the mold, so you can see I was kind of alternating and just pouring into random spots so that all the colours would kind of swirl together. You can see that the tape is also working because none of the resin has gone into the butterfly part, and then of course because I am using UV resin, I had to cure this under my UV light. Next, I'm moving on to creating the paw print. So I'm taking the very squishy silicone mold and I'm actually adding some of the leftover light purple mixture that I have made for the cat shaker. So I'm pouring this into the indented paw print part just really carefully so it doesn't overflow, and then I'm curing that under my UV light. For the base of my paw print, I'm going to be creating a white resin mixture. So I took my UV resin and I'm just mixing in some white liquid pigment. I then poured this into the mold, and then here I'm just working with really thin layers of UV resin to make sure that it all cures. Sometimes if you pour the UV resin in too thick and it is a very opaque colour, it won't cure in the centre and it will remain squishy because the light can't get through. So I've tried to avoid that here by just pouring in very thin layers of the UV resin and curing the layers one at a time. Going back to the cat shaker charm, I'm now removing it from the mold, and here you can see this is what it looks like without the butterfly. I did have a little bit of excess resin, so I'm just going to use a file and sand it away to make it look nice and smooth. Because I do want both of my designs to be charms on the keychain, I'm just using a hand drill here and I'm drilling in the top of the resin pieces. So I began with the cat and I just used some blue tack to help hold it into place on my work surface, and then here I'm also very carefully doing the same with the paw print. So here are what my 2 pieces currently look like. I then took some of the eye screws that came in this pixie box and I'm using my pliers to help secure these into place into the holes that I just drilled. And then it's time to create the shaker. So I'm taking the transparent film and I'm creating a little bit of a template by placing my cat face down onto the plastic, and then I'm using my needle tool to kind of scratch where I want the design to be. Next, I used a pair of scissors to cut this out, and I also collected a bunch of different little embellishments and glitters that I wanted to put inside my cat shaker. Once you've done that, it's time to seal the glitter in. So I'm going to be using my UV resin to do this, and I'm just spreading it around the edges of the shaker before then placing my plastic film on top and curing it under my UV light. To make the charm nice and shiny, I'm doming it with some Diamond LED resin, which is Sophie and Toffee's new formulated mixture. And this resin cures super quickly and really clear as well. So I'm going to use this to dome the top of my cat. I probably should also mention that I decided to make mine a dry shaker charm, meaning that I don't have any oil inside, but the mold is designed for you to be able to pour liquid inside if you choose to. Finally, it's just a matter of adding everything together. So I took my keychains and my jump rings and I connected on the cat shaker, and then for my paw print I'm just using some clear elastic, and I'm also threading on these star beads which match the color theme really well, and I'm connecting everything together. So here is what my finished keychain looks like, featuring my cat shaker charm and also my paw print piece. I really love all the colors on this keychain and how everything came together really nicely. So if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel for lots more crafty videos, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys.